Welcome to my class, dear learners. Hope you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also fine. I am here today to take your English second paper class. So, let's start our class. No other boy in the class is as good as Rohim. Rohim is better than any other boy in the class. Rohim is the best boy in the class. What do the lines refer? Yes, right. The lines refer degree. So, our today's topic is degree. Learning outcomes. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to identify positive, comparative, and superlative form, change the positive into comparative and superlative. Degree means the comparison of adjective. Classification of degree: positive, comparative, and superlative, such as positive good, comparative better, and superlative best. Positive tall, comparative taller, and superlative tallest. Positive beautiful, comparative more beautiful, and superlative most beautiful. The positive sentence to comparative and superlative. Positive: no other boy in the class is as good as Rohim. Comparative: Rohim is better than any other boy in the class. Superlative: Rohim is the best boy in the class. How to change it? At first, the last subject will be subject of the comparative form. So, Rohim, then verb is, then comparative form, good will be better. Then, in place of no other, we have to use than any other. Then, the part after no other. The part after no other is boy in the class. So, comparative will be Rohim is better than any other boy in the class. And superlative, the last subject of positive degree will be subject of the superlative degree. So, Rohim, then verb is, then the, then superlative form. Here, good will be best, then the part after no other boy, and the best boy in the class. So, Rohim is the best boy in the class. This is superlative. Change the positive into comparative and superlative. No other girl in the village is as tall as Rona. So, no other girl in the village is as tall as Rona. Rona is taller than any other girl in the village. This is comparative. At first, we have to take the last subject of positive degree as the first subject of comparative. So, Rona, then verb is, then comparative form, tall will be taller. Then, in place of no other, we have to use than any other. Then, the part after no other, girl in the village. So, comparative will, Runa is better than any other girl in the village. And the superlative will be the last subject of positive degree will be the subject of superlative degree. So, Runa, then verb is, then the, then superlative form, tall will be tallest, then girl in the village. Positive: no other animal in the jungle is as ferocious as tiger. This is will be tiger is more ferocious than any other animal in the jungle. And superlative will be tiger is the most ferocious animal in the jungle. The positive sentence to comparative and superlative. No other boys in the class are as good as Rohim. We can answer Rohim is better than all other boys in the class. Here we have to use all other This is the reason no other boys. Here boys is plural. So we have to use all other boys after the then. Rohim is better than all other boys in the class. In place of superlative degree, Rohim is the best of all boys in the class. Here, why will you use of all? Because no other after no other subject is plural. So we will use of all. Rohim is the best of all boys in the class. Change the positive into comparative and superlative. No other girls in the village are as tall as Rona. No other persons in our school are as honorable as me. So, no other girls in the village are as tall as Rona. Rona is taller than all other girls in the village. And superlative will be Rona is the tallest of all girls in the village. There are some more examples here. No other animals in the jungle are as ferocious as tiger. Tiger is more ferocious than all other animals in the jungle. And the superlative will be tiger is the most ferocious of all animals in the jungle. The positive sentence to comparative and superlative. Very few boys in the class are as good as Rohim. Here, Rohim is better than most other boys in the class. The last subject will be first subject of comparative. So Rohim, then verb is, then comparative form, good will be better, then as very few, in place of very few we have to use most other, then the part after very few, the part after very few boys in the class. So we can solve in this way. Rohim is better than most other boys in the class. And superlative, if we find very few in positive degree, then it will be one of the. So Rohim is one of the best boys in the class. In place of very few, we have to use one of the. Then superlative form, then the part after very few. So Rohim is one of the best boys in the class. Change the positive into comparative and superlative. Very few girls in the village are as tall as Rona. We can solve this in this way. Very few girls in the village are as tall as Rona. Here, the last subject of positive degree will be the subject of comparative. So Rona, then is verb, then comparative form taller than most other. In place of very few, you have to use most other, then the part after very few girls in the village. So Rona is taller than most other girls in the village. And superlative will be Rona is one of the. Yes, we have found here very few, so we have to use one of the. Rona is one of the tallest girls in the village. Very few animals in the jungle are as ferocious as tiger. Tiger is more ferocious than most other animals in the jungle. And the superlative will be tiger is one of the most ferocious animals in the jungle. Here we can see that Rohim is tall as Karim is short. Rohim is taller than Karim. And the positive will be Karim is not as tall as Rohim. The last subject of the comparative form will be the subject of positive, then verb is, and here not, because Rohim is taller, it is affirmative sentence, it will be negative. So we have to use here not, then as, then positive form tall, then another as, then first subject. Karim is not as tall as Rohim. Change the comparative sentences into positive. Rana is better than Simul. Rana is more beautiful than Vithi. Sima and Mimi. Sima is not taller than Mimi. The answer will be Mimi is as tall as Sima because it is negative sentence. Sima is not. Negative sentence will be affirmative. So at first we have to take the last subject of comparative degree, Mimi, then verb is, then as, then positive form, taller will be tall, then another as, then first subject. Mimi is as tall as Sima. Change the comparative sentence into positive. Rohim is not better than Karim. So I am giving you some homework. It is the most important story in this book. Superlative to positive and comparative. He is the shortest of our students in our school. Superlative to positive and comparative. She is one of the most beautiful girl in the class. Superlative into positive and comparative. Shikha is taller than Beauty. Comparative to positive. Ratul is not taller than Minto. Comparative to positive. It is less tall than that. Comparative into positive. She is not less tall than he. Comparative to positive. You will solve this in your notebook. Okay. Thanks. Thank you, everybody.